Everyone. Today we have with us Dr. G.H. Brar, principal from Anand College of Engineering. As I like when I went through your profile, it is written that you have about 16 years of experience in the teaching field, and
Yeah,
you have been in the education field since you have done research for 3 years as well. So it counts
yeah.
about total of 19 years. And then what helped you being connected with the industry for this long? And in this young age, you have been principal for about two colleges and deans at about like two deans, like dean academics, as well as the dean examinations at other colleges.
Yeah.
What helped you connected with the education sector?
Yeah. If I say my connection with education, it is ethics. Ethics is there in the education system, according to myself, and my learning attitude, basically. So the second most prominent reason for this is I love research. So that has motivated me to join the institution, especially higher education institutions. Since I have a passion about the research, and after my research degree, I have guided approximately six doctorate and 15 master research candidates for the degree. I am also connected with the research right now. So there are five students who are just working under my guidance for doctorate degrees.
So, sir, you have been principal about for two colleges and deans also. Then, what are the leaderships what are the leadership skills you have, and what do you want people to be like whenever we are working in a team as
Yeah,
whenever you are a leader for them?
I understand your question. It is a very good question right now. There are different philosophy of leadership, my dear. And everyone who is serving at administration role, he is oriented with any one of these. I believe in democratic leadership philosophy. So, as far as my leadership style is concerned, it is direct and leading by example. I enjoy delegating tasks and taking the lead on projection, but I also prefer to stay involved in the team and inspire my team members by showing that I'm working hands on to help them too. So by leading and by just participating among the as a team, it always gets the good results.
Okay, so it's great to hear that you have the leadership quality of being direct. It is a like very few people possess these qualities.
Right.
So moving on to our next question, sir. As we know, the education system in India and foreign countries are structured very differently.
Yeah.
And then, what can the students gain from like studying in your institute
Yeah.
if they want to be studying abroad?
Right. So major difference between Indian and foreign education system is that the foreign education system focus on the practical aspects, whereas Indian system focus on theory. So Indian education system is less bother about the creativity. We don't bother about the creativity. We just uh, frame the curriculum and just check the credentials of the student, and it is the achievement for our education system. Whereas foreign countries, they focus more on practical based learning outcomes. In our college, since our college is related to the technical, basically, we have a BTech and diploma courses, so which are
Yes, sir.
professional by nature and practical by nature. So we focus more on practical learning outcomes rather than the theoretical work. Although theoretical work is also important, but the main thing is just when you are a professional, you are doing a professional courses, you should aware about the practical outcomes. This is the basic structure of a course.
Sir, one question. You have been through the research for 3 years, and also you have been deans. And
Yeah.
while you're the principal as well, also when you are the dean, what are the things you looked in a student which were missing for a research purpose? Like in our primary education, there is no focus given to the research, whereas when we go for higher education, the primary focus is the research, which is missing in India. So, would you like to change something in the primary education, like so
Yeah.
that the students can start giving that approach as well, not only from the theoretical perspective?
This is a very basic question. So I think that we focus more on research degrees rather than the practical learning. If, we, for example, if a student is doing the graduate degrees, the credential and practical aspects is more important as per the education system. So right now, as per my opinion, during the lower degrees, we can say that intermediate, above the intermediate education, whether it is graduation, whether it is post graduation diploma, we should also inculcate some research work related to, because practical work creates a lot of interest in the student. So I'm just trying to my best for the students who are just studying in diploma as well as BTech courses. I give them projects. I give them case studies related to their work. For example, if a student is just studying in the civil engineering, so I give them the basic practical aspects of the some tasks, some applications related to the civil works, rather than building, rather than design of the building. If we are just planning to develop a new block, I give the students of the final year of the BTech students, then please draw the optimistic the graph of the proposed building. So it will create, or it uses to create the more interest in the students, and they think that this is the practical aspects also. Because if we create the theories and we just do the different lectures related to the theoretical work, they get bored. And our youth, it can't spare any moment which is not in their interests. So making more interest, some more practical work should be there, because if we see anything, it create more interest. If we create the simulation, it will sometimes get bored.
Yes, sir. I think it was it is a great idea that we have given the project of the new building or like that for the civil engineering students. I myself am a civil engineering graduate,
Yeah.
so I can totally relate to that, and I feel it is very important for us to be beyond the field and get hands-on experience in the college itself.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great example you are leading by, and I think many of the colleges should follow this so that the students on their campus learn, and not only for the civil engineering but also other factors as well in the other streams of the engineering.
Yeah, I agree. Similar mechanical engineering, same relevant examples, practical learning can be given, and as well as for the computer engineering also. Because if we assign a real problem with the students, then there will be some interest in their mind that this is the problem, practical problem, and this problem we have to solve all the things. They will create with the dedication. And if we say that this is a theoretical problem and you have to solve this, whatever as were given in the books, it will not create interest in them, because they know that this is a book work and all the things.
Yes, we can totally relate to that since we have been through the same. So then, being a principal of the Anand Engineering College, what do you think your responsibilities and roles are to the institutes as well as to the students and the parents concerned?
Yeah. So as a head of the institute, my main focus is to ensure the fulfill all learning outcomes which are assigned to us by the university, because we are a affiliated college which is affiliated to State Technical University, that is Indra Kumar Gujral Punjab Technical University.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
No, yes, sir, you can continue.
We have no flexibility to add or subtract any curriculum, academic curriculum, beyond the range of the Punjab Technical University. But I ensure that all the practical outcomes must be justified to the students, and they can aware and they can achieve all the outcomes which are assigned by the university. So this is not restricted to only curriculum, but my approach is just to give the additional some assignments, as I have discussed with you earlier also, related to their fields, to popularize the main subject depth toward them. Last but not least, that is the communication skill. Because if you have very great knowledge about the subject, but you can't express anything, then it is in vain. So the student must possess the communication skill. It can express whatever it in his mind, in her or his mind. So that is very essential. So this is a key point of which is also required in the different interviews, and as well as the different recruitment processes of the MNCs and all the public enterprises. So I focus on the communication skill, and I achieve this by the conducting seminars, group discussions, and even with the interaction with the experts related to the different branches of the engineering, like civil, mechanical, and computer engineering. In other words, we can say that our motive, one motive is for the holistic development of all the students, not in academic, but also in their personalities as well.
Sir, it is great to hear that even after being affiliated to the Punjab Technical University, you are trying the best that you can so that the students can develop in not only the academic performance, also they can develop themselves as a person and build their personality, which is required for the lifetime, I guess.
Yeah, thank you, Harsh, for the compliment.
So, you have been to the Guru Tej Bahadur Engineering College for about 5 years, and then you have come here. So, what was the vision when you came to the Anand Engineering College for the first time? And what are your future plans about the institute? And how is it how is it on the progress card?
Yeah, I have joined the college in July 2019.
Yes, sir.
2 years ago, but unluckily I have to say that after the 6 month of my joining, the pandemic has affected us in a wide variety. So approximately 1.5 years has been passed under the fear of this COVID-19. So we have conducted online mode study during this time, but now we have a great hope that we will take this institution among the best college of the Punjab, not Punjab Technical University, but within the Punjab itself also. So we are just planning our institution for the multi-domain functioning. So we have a diploma and degree technical courses here, and recently we have started some non-technical courses also like BCom, BCA, and BSc Fashion Technology. And I have a great passion to open some other allied courses like B Vocational, which is now key point of the technical education. So surely we will start those programs and we take the institution up to its heights.
Okay, then I think you are planning to change the name of the college from Anand Engineering College to Anand Group of Institutions like that or something.
Yeah, this is my dream.
So it would be a pleasure to see the college go through different heights and then take it to some other level. So I think you have a great vision for the college, and I wish you best of the luck for this.
Thank you, Harsh.
Whatever you're planning, may you be successful in that. Sir, what are the things you know about the Anand College of Engineering and Technology that so people from the outside don't know, from the insides? We would like to know some insights about the college.
Yeah. So as I earlier told you that we have recently started the new course, BC and BCom in the pandemic era in last year. This year we have started BSc Fashion Technology. So I think that people are not aware because till now the system is not functional as open as it was before 2 years. So these are the new courses with our BTech and diploma courses we have started. And secondly, we have many scholarship schemes, and actually we have framed the different scholarship schemes for the meritorious students. And for the further detail related to the meritorious student scheme, anyone can contact our admission cell in detail, because it is not possible to explain all the things, all the policies in this brief meeting or interview. So secondly, we also provide the educational scholarship which are provided by the center or national itself, like welfare department provides the free education to the reserved category students like SC and ST students. So we also provide the free education for those students. And we have also some scholarship scheme for the marginalized area, like backward area students who are just in the marginal section of economy also. So for the detail, they can contact to our admission cell officials.
It is great to hear that, sir. You are welcoming students from all the different perspectives, different parts of the life, be it poor people, everyone should have a right to education. And it is a great idea that you are implementing it on the field being a principal. So kudos to that, sir. I'm extremely impressed to hear that. Sir, as you explained, you have some great visions for the college. For the great vision, you would also need a strong foundation. So, what do you think are the greatest strengths of Anand College of Engineering and Management, which you can build and be the name people will be looking for in the Punjab or all over the India in the coming years?
So first thing I like to share you its location. So ACM has a prominent location on Kapurthala Sultanpur Highway Road, which is opposite to Rail Coach Factory, which is the unique factory among its area, and it is very easy approachable to the railway service as well as bus services. Second, as far as the college faculty and staff members is concerned, I have a very proudly to say that senior and dedicated faculty members are there, which are just working in the college since establishment of the college since 10 years. In 2010, ACM was just established, and we have more than 80% staff since its starting of the institution. The other thing, college has the ultra modern labs and having latest smart classrooms, which are required for blending learning also, which are a need of our right now in the pandemic also. So college has a two boys hostel and one girls hostel, and total capacity of approximately 800 students. We have a cafeteria, a robust workshop, etc. And it is approachability to the city is just 2 or 3 kilometers from the campus. So landscaping of the college is wonderful. So all the things, just the student can visit the college and see, and I think that they may be impressed by the infrastructure also, as well as with the faculty.
Okay, sir. Moving on to the next question. How do you establish a healthy relation among the faculty and also with the environment in your college?
Yeah, it is a very important question indeed. For making the healthy relation and environment in college, first thing is to build a good relationship between students, starting with their first day of the college. So in our college, students are allotted with mentor as soon as they enter the college, and mentor is a teacher which meets the allotted students at least once in a week in the mentor period. And during this period, students are not restricted to discuss only academic matters or affairs, but any matter related to their social and personal matter that may be discussed. So it is an open discussion, basically, interactive session. So the teacher always guides the students related to the social activities and related to the personal needs. Every student having their own problem and own the requirements, so that may be discussed with the mentor. And mentor will not disclose any students with the any matter to the other students. Second thing is there should be clear communication with the students. If you have a clear communication with the students, with the teachers, then transparent relation are always having a very big block. They construct the very big block. So third one and very important point is trust the students. If we trust the students, they will prove that they are very good manager, they are very good administrator, and they are very good responsible persons. So usually we assign the various duties as a volunteer in the various academic and cultural programs to the students, and they prove that they are as good as our faculty and staff members.
Oh, sir, it is great to hear that you are like having a mentor sessions every week, at least once a week for every student. I think it is very necessary for, especially during the times of COVID-19, the mental health of the people as well as the faculty might have taken a toll. And if you are doing this mentoring, at least even if you do it once a week, I think it is a great idea so that the students can feel comfortable. And also, I could see the direct leadership skill and leadership philosophy you were talking about direct in your teachers as well, like being direct with the students and being direct, like open to the students and welcoming the thoughts. I think it is like the leadership you have been following, leadership philosophy, it's being impacted onto your faculty as well. So it is great to see that. So last but not the least question, sir, any suggestion that you would like to give to the current youth and aspiring students of the country as well as the world?
Yeah. So it is not a suggestion. I have actually pain to say these words. So as per my opinion, I think that you will also agree with me. Youth of our area, not our area, in the India also, is just mad for the foreign countries, and thousands students, they migrate for the further study and settle down there. As per my opinion, the study in abroad is not a bad thing, but I would not discourage this. But to see the dreams that everything is there in the foreign countries, and then we have left nothing else, and we are a very inferior infrastructure, and we have no job, and we have no chance to be entrepreneur here rather than the Western countries. So I think this is a bad trend, because everyone wants to just run away from our country. So this is the basic trend which I have just seen in that even the among the students right now. So I would guide to students that we are just known for our dedication, we are known for our hard working, and we are known, and we have a very glorious heritage in Punjab as well as in India. We should be proud of us, and we should hard work here, and to prove that we can lead the state as well as the country among the all the world, and we should work hard here rather than run away from this state.
Yes, sir, it is a great thing which you have spoken, and it is a 99% of it is actually true. Like most of the people, students actually think of going abroad. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out time out of your busy schedule for having a chat with us. It was a great experience for me. Thank you so much, sir, for being so coordinating. And I would like to wish you best of luck for your things you're looking for in the future, and also for the college in general. As you said, you want to build, change the name of the college from Anand College of Engineering and Management to the Anand Group of College itself. So I think it's a great idea. And also, at this very young age, you're about, I can feel 42 or 43, right?
Yeah.
And at this young age, you are having this vision. So I think you will be able to achieve this. Thank you so much, sir, for having taking out time for us and giving this interview.
Thank you,
so much.
Harshi. Thank you, Harshi, for the wonderful questions and practical questions you have just asked from me, and it is really a fruitful interview. So thank you for giving me a time for exploring all with your college dunia and all the receiver who will receive all the information from your web page or as well as any other medium. So thank you very much, and thanks for your best wishes for the college. Thank you very much.